Before the advancement of forensic testing, monsters among us used to be able to operate and hide for longer periods of time, blending in and committing brutal crimes in small towns and cities all across the globe. One of the most notorious cases of an evil individual hiding in plain sight took place in Kansas between 1974 and 1991. The killer's alias was BTK, which stood for Bind, Torture and Kill. However, his real name was Dennis Rader. BTK was a sexual sadomasochistic deviant who derived pleasure from the torture of his victims. Dennis Rader was a leader in his church and local Cub Scouts. It would only be after a long, horrifying and bloody run that the public would know the two as the same. Rader would normally target women, choosing a victim and studying said victim until the time was right to strike. Sometimes that time would come while out on a scouting camping trip, and he would slip into the night to commit a crime as the unsuspecting scout troop slept. BTK notoriously kept mementos from each crime, whether that be a victim's license or underwear. Some even were mailed to police and local news outlets. Rader was able to keep a low profile while moving among society, yet BTK was screaming for notoriety, and thus BTK would mock the police via letters. Another reason he was able to avoid capture for so long might be the large gaps between killings. The things he would keep from crime scenes would help hold off his demonic urges for some time, and he would even recreate the crime scenes and photograph himself in the positions of his past victims. Dennis Rader showed no remorse while speaking about his crimes in court, and with 10 confirmed victims, he truly was a monster. The people who knew him around town would have nothing but nice things to say, as none of them knew about his other life. Rader was even able to maintain a life with his wife and 2 children. Brazenly, BTK would ask the police department if they would be able to track where information on a floppy disk was recorded. The police obviously said no, and after what felt like an eternity, BTK sent a floppy disk to a local news station which was tracked back to Dennis Rader's office at his local church. At the time of this video, he is still alive in prison, serving his 10 consecutive life sentences, and is a frail old man in a wheelchair. As he rots in solitary confinement, hopefully his thoughts are haunted by what he has done to his victims, whose ages ranged from 9 to 63, and the cries of their families as the trial progressed. If you would want to learn more about the twisted BTK, you can check out Catching Killers on Netflix, or read the book written by one of his daughters, A Serial Killer's Daughter, My Story of Faith, Love,